Good afternoon, everyone. Yep. So, Sqoop. SQ means SQL. From Hadoop, they taken Sqoop. SQ. From SQL, they taken SQ. From Hadoop, they taken Sqoop. Sqoop means SQL to Hadoop, SQL to Hadoop, and Hadoop to SQL. From SQL, they taken SQ. From Hadoop, they taken Sqoop. Sqoop means SQL to Hadoop and Hadoop to SQL. So before Sqoop, before Sqoop, before Sqoop, if you want to import the data from RDBMS to Hadoop, if you want import data from RDBMS to Hadoop, Hadoop and Hadoop to RDBMS. Sorry, Hadoop to RDBMS. Hadoop to RDBMS. If you want to import the data and export export Hadoop to RDBMS. Hadoop to RDBMS. Before Sqoop, if you want to import and export the data from RDBMS to Hadoop and Hadoop to RDBMS, we used MapReduce JDBC. MapReduce JDBC. MapReduce JDBC. So JDBC means Java database connectivity, right? Java database connectivity. So which is used to communicate with any database. To communicate with any database, we use JDBC. So database concept, JDBC concept is used to communicate with any database. So before Sqoop, we used MapReduce JDBC programming to communicate with any RDBMS. To import the data from RDBMS to Hadoop, to export the data from Hadoop to RDBMS, we used MapReduce JDBC. MapReduce JDBC. So what is the disadvantage of MapReduce JDBC? Disadvantage of MapReduce JDBC. First one, we have to know MapReduce algorithm. Next, we have to know JDBC API. We have to know JDBC API. So we have to know MapReduce algorithm, we have to know JDBC, and we have to know either any language. any language. Example, Java, Java. So next one, it is lengthy. It is lengthy, right? MapReduce, we have to write lengthy code. Lengthy code. So to resolve all these problems, to resolve to resolve all these problems, all these problems, Hadoop introduces Sqoop. Okay. So Sqoop main purpose is importing data from RDBMS to Hadoop. Importing data from RDBMS to Hadoop and exporting Hadoop data to RDBMS. Any RDBMS. Any RDBMS. Hadoop cluster. So middle we use Sqoop. So importing data from RDBMS to Hadoop. Next, it is also used for exporting Hadoop data to RDBMS. So this is exporting. So to import and export, we use Sqoop. Sqoop architecture. Okay. So Sqoop performs only two operations. Sqoop performs performs only two operations. Two operations. One, import. Import imports data from imports data from any RDBMS to Hadoop. And next operation, export export exports Hadoop data to RDBMS, any RDBMS. So mainly two operations, importing, exporting. Okay, importing and exporting. So why we are importing RDBMS data to Hadoop. Why we are importing RDBMS data to Hadoop? You may get question. Why we import RDBMS data to Hadoop? Yep. In that case, we storage purpose we are going Hadoop. But here, why we are importing data? RDBMS data. RDBMS has some data. We are importing data to Hadoop. Why? Yep. One migration, an important one. See, this is assume we have some 200 GB data. No. RDBMS has highly fault tolerant. Rack system, there are multiple. Why we are importing RDBMS data to Hadoop? First one, assume we have some 200 TB data. 200 TB data of some sales data. Sales data. Assume we have 200 TB of sales data. From this, we want to retrieve results. So to retrieve this, to retrieve some data, some result, RDBMS taking longer time. RDBMS taking longer time. So instead of applying processing logic in RDBMS, move RDBMS data to Hadoop. So instead of applying processing logic in RDBMS, move this data to Hadoop, apply processing. So Hadoop is parallel processing, right? So that it performs faster. And next, we may get one more question. Why we are exporting Hadoop data to RDBMS? Yep. So, hmm. Okay. Okay. So first one, we return only results. Results are small, right? Most of the times results are small data. And next one, some existed applications connecting RDBMS. Applications connecting RDBMS. Okay. Some existed applications connecting RDBMS. Instead of changing application logics, we are returning results to RDBMS. We are returning results to RDBMS. Sqoop import and export Sqoop import and export are commands simple commands simple commands. These are converted These are converted internally as MapReduce JDBC programs. MapReduce JDBC programs. So if you execute import and export commands, these are internally converted to MapReduce application programs. Okay, we are not writing MapReduce programs. These import and export commands are converted to MapReduce programs. Okay, so Sqoop also used Sqoop also used to integrate. Sqoop also used to import import and export import and export any NoSQL data any NoSQL data to Hadoop and Hadoop to NoSQL database. And we can use Sqoop also. Sqoop also used to import RDBMS data directly to Hive tables. Hive tables. So we can use Sqoop to import RDBMS data directly to Hive tables. Yep. Internally, it's a MapReduce application. MapReduce JDBC application. So we write a simple import and export commands. Important, important note. Important to know. See, assume this is MySQL database. Assume this is MySQL database. MySQL database. I want to import MySQL data to Hadoop cluster, Hadoop system. So here we are using Sqoop software. So Sqoop installation path, in Sqoop installation path, assume Sqoop is installed under user under lib under Sqoop. So this is installation path. In this installation path, you will see one folder called lib. So in this lib folder, we have to place corresponding database jar file. We have to place corresponding database jar file. MySQL connector dot jar. Okay. Important to note. If you want import and export data from RDBMS to Hadoop and Hadoop to RDBMS, Hadoop to RDBMS. We have to place corresponding corresponding database driver, corresponding database driver in Sqoop installation path. So example under root, under USR, under lead, under Sqoop, under lib, we have to place database driver. Any database, JDBC driver, jar file. So it is important. So why we are importing, why we are placing jar file into this location? Why we are placing? So we cannot communicate with any RDBMS without this driver, right? So driver is important. JDBC driver is important. So JDBC uh, driver code presented in this jar file. So whatever the import command, whatever the export command we return, those are converted to MapReduce programs, MapReduce JDBC programs. Okay, and this is one important note. Next important note, we have to provide authentication information. Example, username and password, password information of database, information of database. We have to provide authentication information of database. Yep, while writing import and export command, we have to provide these information, username and password information. Okay, so without Sqoop, generally how do we connect a database? So by using JDBC, yes or no? So by using JDBC driver, we connect with database. So any application program, we use driver. So middle we use driver, JDBC driver. So here, whatever the instructions we written in Java or any language. Example here, we written query in Java form. Select star from EMP. Select star from EMP. If you write this query in string form, then this query is passed to JDBC. JDBC converts in DB understandable format. So assume here database we used MySQL. So we have to use MySQL connector. So here we have to use MySQL connector. MySQL hyphen connector. If it is a Oracle, MySQL connector jar file contain MySQL JDBC driver. If it is a Oracle database, if it is a Oracle database, we have to use OJDBC 14.jar file. OJDBC 14.jar file. 14.jar file. So this jar file contain Oracle JDBC driver. Oracle JDBC driver. So same way, through import and export command, we want to import data from MySQL data to Hadoop. Then we have to place this MySQL connector.jar in Sqoop installation lib directory. Okay. If you want to connect Oracle database, we have to place OJDBC 14.jar file in lib directory. So this is general way. Then same place, same thing. If you want import into Hadoop system. So this is our Hadoop cluster. Hadoop cluster. Same thing. If you want import and export, previously we written MapReduce programs. MapReduce JDBC programs. MapReduce JDBC programs. Here we used JDBC. JDBC. So to implement this MapReduce JDBC program, we need to know MapReduce. We need to know any one language. We need to know JDBC API. So three things we have to know. Finally, this is lengthy code. Lengthy code. So to resolve this problem, Sqoop is introduced. Sqoop. So Sqoop is simple import and export commands. Simple import and export commands. It may be any database. It may be any database. So we use what? Simple import and export commands. Import and export commands. These import and export commands automatically converts MapReduce JDBC programs. We are not writing MapReduce JDBC programs. If you write simple import and export command, it will internally convert to MapReduce JDBC program. Okay. So let's open Cloudera. I'll show installation path. Go to my computer. Go to file system. So go to here USR and you will see lib. Under lib you will see Sqoop. Sqoop. Here you will see lib folder. In this lib folder we place MySQL. Whatever the database we are connecting, we have to download corresponding jar file and we have to place here. Let me see MySQL is available. No, right? Then let's download corresponding database driver. So I want to connect MySQL database. So let me download MySQL database. MySQL database connector jar file. So MySQL connector Java jar download. So MySQL website provides jar file, or we have Java 2s some websites. These also provides jar file. So go to MySQL website. So it is providing installation, but we don't want installation, we want connector. So let me go to other download page. So I want to download latest one. So click on this one. So here you will see download link. So let's download. Go to download location. So this is the jar file, zip file. Extract this one. So this is the jar file. MySQL hyphen connector hyphen Java hyphen 5.12.1.24 hyphen bin dot jar file. Copy this jar file and paste into lib folder. Let me open Sqoop. So under Sqoop lib. Here place this jar file. Okay. Yep. So this is root related. So open terminal. Go to downloads. Yep. So type sudo cp mysql hyphen connector dot bin dot jar. Where do we want to place this one? Under root, under usr, under lib, under scoop, under lib. That's it. It will copy. Subject. So file is copied. Okay. Same way, if you want to connect with Oracle, download Oracle OJDBC 14. OJDBC 14.jar. So we have latest one classes 12.jar. So OJDBC 14 classes uses for JDK 1.4 and 1.5. These versions. So let me download OJDBC 14. So we have to accept license agreement. Accept license agreement. Then click on download. So it's asking some username and password. Then go to downloads. Go to downloads, extract OJDBC 14 jar zip file, save. Go to command prompt, simply cp so here we use OJDBC 14.jar. That's it. So it will place OJDBC 14.jar. Okay. So in this way, we download a corresponding database driver and we place into Sqoop installation lib directory. So in our Sqoop training, so what we are going to do is we import we import and export Hadoop to MySQL, sorry, MySQL to Hadoop, MySQL to Hadoop, and Hadoop to MySQL, Hadoop to MySQL. Okay. Next, Cloudera, Cloudera Quick Start VM, Cloudera Quick Start VM by default, by default, by default has MySQL, MySQL database installed. So MySQL database installed. So no need to install any database. So we use already installed MySQL database. So how to log in MySQL database? How to log in MySQL database? So from Linux, we use command. Linux we use command MySQL hyphen u username username hyphen p and password. So if you press enter, it will ask password. In Cloudera, in Cloudera MySQL, Cloudera MySQL root user password is Cloudera. Root user password is Cloudera. Okay. So this MySQL hyphen u hyphen root opens MySQL command prompt. It will open MySQL command prompt. MySQL command prompt. It will open MySQL command prompt. There are some third party GUI client tools. Client tools. Client tools to connect MySQL database. MySQL database. Example, MySQL workbench. MySQL workbench. MySQL workbench. SQL yoke. There are multiple. If you browse, you will see lot of client tools. So MySQL workbench. One is MySQL workbench. So it look like in this way. Okay. Next we have Heady SQL. This is one of the popular tool. So it look like in this way. And next one, DB Force, some other. So multiple third-party tools are there. So most popular client tool is MySQL Workbench. MySQL Workbench. Okay, let's open and connect MySQL. So we enter MySQL space -u username root -p and enter. It will ask password. So password Cloudera. Okay, it opens MySQL cell. Here we type show databases. Show databases. It will display list of databases. So to change database, we use database name, use scoop, and show tables is a command to display list of tables. List of tables. Okay. So already scoop database contain customer table, DEPT table, EMP table, EMP2 table. So we use these tables in our application. So if it is not presented, create your own tables, insert the data into these tables, then execute scoop import and export commands. If you use these tools, if you use MySQL workbench, then you can create a file. You can create a file and you can add n number of records with comma separated. Then use this right click on table name and import that file. Automatically it will insert the data. So simple. Instead of writing multiple insert statements, use file and load that file into table. So these tools provides a lot of features. Previously, MySQL is complete open source. MySQL is open source and free. Now it is acquired by Oracle few years back. Now it is from Oracle. So it is licensed. If you want to cluster based MySQL, it is licensed. So similar way MySQL equivalent, they developed one more MariaDB. MariaDB. This is open source, free. So it is works the same as MySQL. No difference. So MariaDB is open source and free. This is MySQL from Oracle database. So now you can trust this MySQL is from Oracle, right? Oracle providing MySQL. Okay. So tomorrow class we'll see practical lab implementation. So practical part, import and export commands we execute, and if possible we'll see RDBMS to Hive direct integration. Okay.